I was pretty scared that my social media platforms may potentially be an issue in a career that is so typically and also understandably very risk averse. But I'm so glad to say that my journey on social media has been so supported and encouraged by those in the legal field. In this video, I want to talk about how social media has helped me as a trainee solicitor, and we're going to be drawing on some key things about personal brand and how being on social media has helped me both internally in my firm but also externally too. I guess this video came about from when I was mentioned in the Legal Cheek article as one of the lawfluencers. That term just makes me cringe, as one of the lawfluencers to watch in 2023, and I'm so honoured to have been mentioned on that list alongside so many other amazing creatives. There has been increased scrutiny against content creators in recent times in terms of specifically, for example, career influencers, where I guess the common complaint that people have is that the content that's created is not actually reflective of real life and is actually showing an aesthetic picture. I think to some extent that's quite true, in terms of I think it's important as a content creator to be authentic. If you're one of those content creators that's waking up at 5 a.m. on that specific day that you decide to record, and the rest of the week you're waking up at a much later time, then I think that's also contributing to the issue that people are talking about. In this video, what I really want to talk about is how social media has helped me, and not talk about the negatives that there are in relation to hate that you get online sometimes on social media, or the common complaints that people have, understandably so in some situations, of portraying social media in an aesthetic and non-realistic manner. So let's talk about internally first, how it's helped me within the firm that I'm training at the moment. It's helped me build my internal network. So for example, my platform on social media on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, etc., has helped me be in contact with people from business development or the marketing team and understand actually how the firm operates as a wider business, which I don't think I would have had as much exposure to had I not had my social media platforms. It's also quite nice as well when you are speaking to a colleague in the firm and they kind of already know who you are because they've seen some of your content, and it kind of makes that icebreaker so much easier too. Furthermore, internally within the firm, having a social media platform has provided me additional opportunities. So for example, I was on a panel discussion sometime during my training contract where I was talking about social media to other trainee solicitors in the firm, and because I already know people, for example from the CSR team or for marketing and development, it's also helped me build further opportunities from those connections as well. I guess one really cool thing is that you somewhat become an internal ambassador of the firm, which of course has its responsibilities alongside it as well, but it's really cool sometimes. So for example, I've spoken to some of you who watch my content, I've spoken to you on the train, I've spoken to one of you at Be At One of all places. I also met one of you outside of my office when I was grabbing McDonald's. So there's so many ways in which, for example, I meet people in every walk of life and they ask me questions about my firm, and I'm able to provide an honest perspective and have that one-to-one conversation, and I always find those moments so cool. So if you do ever see me in public and have any questions to ask about law, please feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to, unless I'm in like a major rush, I'll let you know, but other than that, I'm always more than happy to have a chat. Having a platform has actually helped me with the actual work that I do in my day-to-day role as a trainee solicitor as well. One of those things is my entrepreneurial spirit has really increased, and my ability to identify business opportunities, that has really helped through social media, and I then transfer that to my career. The fact that I can be creative outside of work has exposed me to all these different softwares. That's one way I've been able to show my innovative spirit as well, in terms of keeping my eye on the ground on what technologies may be useful for the firm, and having a social media platform has helped me achieve that. Having a social media platform has helped me build an external network outside of work too, and having a social media platform has allowed me to make the greatest of friends, for example, with fellow individuals who work at the Big Four or who work at investment banks or literally anywhere, starters, creators, entrepreneurs. Now, of course, I want to build these networks because I love getting to know people, and I'm such a people person. I love chatting and finding out new things about different people. If I was to think of it with my lawyer hat on, those kind of external networks would be greatly beneficial in the future as well, when it comes to maybe potentially winning clients for the firm that I'm working at. it can really help with that aspect as well, to know people who are also within the professional sphere, or also people who are creating their own things or running their own businesses. Of course, I think there's a common saying in law is about who you know, and I genuinely do believe there will be moments in your career where you'll need to rely on your network. For example, say if you want to find out more about another firm, but you don't directly just want to go to the website, you can actually find out from your network a real honest insight into what it's like to work for a particular firm. And on the topic of going to networking events and building that external network, my social media platform has allowed me to be invited to events that typically I wouldn't have gone to before. So recently I went to an event that was promoting the reselling of South Asian fashion wear. And I felt like that event, I'd met so many cool people, creators, entrepreneurs, and like I mentioned before, I liked building those authentic, genuine connections, but in the future, if they ever needed a lawyer, I'm here. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, as your role progresses in the firm from a trainee to higher up, I think your responsibility of trying to win business increases. I think being active on social media has really helped me in understanding this very early on in my career. But if you are someone who isn't that comfortable on social media, don't feel like you have to just have that sort of platform there just because everyone else is doing it. There are still ways in which you can build your internal and external network without social media as well. Like, not everyone wants to or has to be a content creator in order to try and win clients in the future, if that makes sense. So for example, one way in which you can build your internal network is attending socials, organizing your own socials, and helping out with pro bono, or just putting your hand up and wanting, for example, to get involved in writing an article that will put you in touch with the BD team or the marketing team as well. So there are different ways of building that internal network as well without having to only use social media. And also with your external network as well, there are so many great networking groups out there that I absolutely love. Shout out, for example, to the Young Professional, London Young Lawyers Network. Those are the two main groups and networks that I attend their events, and I think they're absolutely fantastic, and I always meet some great people there. And again, you don't need some crazy social media platform in order to build those external networks either. So I guess that's my main takeaway in this video. If you are looking to build a social media platform within career or within law, then absolutely do it. I think there's been so many great benefits for it for me. But also on the flip side, don't look at this video and think, oh my god, I now have to create a YouTube channel, or now I have to create an Instagram profile. Because if that's not something you feel comfortable doing, and you feel like you don't have the capacity or the time, or you're just not comfortable to put your face out there, that's also completely fine. Don't feel like you're at a disadvantage either. Like I've mentioned, there are so many other ways of building your internal and external network. So I hope this video has been useful, and if you want to hear more about my journey on social media alongside being a trainee solicitor, please feel free to drop any comments below about that, and I'll try and answer when I can. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.